Number 10, Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise has covered a lot of ground over the past 3 decades, and after the original 1996 movie, the series entered into a lengthy run of action films that have Cruise constantly one-upping himself with a succession of practical stunts. With its major box office success, as a franchise, I had to include it in the list. Harry Potter. With 7 novels released between 1997 and 2007, it was a tall ask to expect the cinematic adaptations to follow suit. Across a similar time span encompassing 8 movies plus 3 prequels in the form of the Fantastic Beasts series, few movie franchises can hook audiences as Harry Potter has. Planet of the Apes. The original 1968 Planet of the Apes movie gave us one of the best endings in cinematic history and sparked off a franchise that's also full of surprises. After 4 direct sequels of varying quality, followed by a TV show in the mid-70s, the franchise was at a halt until a Tim Burton remake in 2001. Another decade later, and a full-on trilogy firmly re-established the Planet of the Apes franchise as a reliable source of imaginative sci-fi. Batman. Decades before the MCU took over Hollywood, DC's Batman was the pinnacle for mainstream comic book movies. The Batman franchise has had an eventful history from Tim Burton in the 90s before hitting rock bottom with Joel Schumacher years later. Nolan then revived the character with 3 of the best Batman films ever made, along with the character being pushed through Zack Snyder's Justice League years, and then experienced another revival with Matt Reeves' films. A true hero's journey with a lot of good films to back it up. Indiana Jones. Even though there has been some bad sequels that have taken away from the original's charm, the original films still hold up to be some of Spielberg's best. Harrison Ford's iconic character and iconic action films have spanned across 42 years with 5 different films. The most recent film was so bad that I couldn't include this higher in the list, but nevertheless, it's still one of the best characters ever created. Rocky. The Rocky franchise may have well peaked with the original film, which came from nowhere to win the Best Picture Oscar in 1976. However, this 9-strong series of films centered around Sylvester Stallone's gritty boxer has been remarkably consistent over the years. It even managed to successfully reinvent itself for a modern audience with the Creed series, starring Michael B. Jordan as Rocky's talented young protege and son of his best friend. Star Wars. George Lucas's tale of a galaxy far, far away has entered the culture like few other franchises. This one was tough to place on the rankings just because of how Disney destroyed this franchise by releasing awful films, but the original movies were great and the filmmaking aspects and impacts on the industry were greater with the creation of ILM. Stretching across 5 decades and influencing at least 3 distinct generations, I had to put this at number 4, the MCU. It's tough to talk about the MCU without saying what's already been said, but spanning 10 years starting with Iron Man in 2009 to Avengers Endgame in 2019, Marvel put out 23 films with hardly any misses, creating a universe intertwined with the best possible climax for the last film. Due to the tremendous decrease in quality from the recent years post-Endgame, the number 3 spot is the highest I could rank this, as Disney once again has ruined another franchise. It's sad, but at least we got some good years out of it. The Lord of the Rings. Watching these films, it's hard to imagine they came out 20 years ago. With groundbreaking visuals and special effects, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy is truly a masterpiece of storytelling and filmmaking. I get it's not everyone's cup of tea, but the character and world building is truly something special if you buy into it. With the extended versions being over 4 hours long, these films are definitely worth getting into if you haven't already. Pixar. Spanning 27 films across 28 years, Pixar has been the most consistent movie franchise with endless amounts of amazing films. They had an incredible run from 1995 to 2010 with Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up, and Toy Story 3. People might be mad at this being number 1, but these films are truly masterful in creativity and storytelling and result in timeless classics. They also majorly impacted the industry as they were the first successful 3D animation films, causing the demise of 2D animation. Regardless of your age, these films are still an enjoyable watch every time. Thank you guys for watching. I tried to keep this video as concise as possible. Let me know what you think of the rankings in the comments below, and you could click here to watch my previous video ranking the best movie of each year.